real quick, as a quorum matter, Joe is outside getting his computer email fixed, so we'll drag him in for the votes when it's time if we have to, if he's not finished. But I believe we do have a quorum already, so I think we're good to go. So with no further ado, General Statute 138A15 mandates that the chairman inquires to whether any member knows of any known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to matters before the commission. If any member knows of conflict of interest or appearance of a conflict, please say so at this time. Anybody? Hard to have a conflict with what we're talking about today, isn't it? Okay, I hear none. So first action item, and I believe I'm giving this to Jennifer Everett. There she is. I lost you earlier. You must have been talking back there. I didn't see you. Jennifer's going to talk about the 2I rules, and I believe we're at a position, punchline, Jennifer, we need a 30-day waiver on this too today?
Yeah, I guess that formally
Or
it's
tomorrow.
yes, but yes, we will be seeking that.
Okay, so, all right.
All right.
How about it?
Okay. This will be an extremely long, this is not the right presentation. This was from November. So I'm not Bill Lane. My name is Jennifer Everett. I am the department's rulemaking coordinator. Mr. Bill Lane used to be the department's general counsel, and he has since left. So I'm pinch hitting.
He probably updated this before he left, so that's why it still says November on it, so.
Well,
Just being funny.
I love it because, man, if you start, I'm going to just go right there with you, man. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the regulatory requirement for EMC's rules that are codified in subchapter 02I. It's just called hearings. There are 11 rules that make up the subchapter. These are mostly, or these are administrative type rules that pertain to this commission. It does not affect just one of our divisions or one program area in our department, but rather all of them. So that's why I'm here. These rules substantively address petitions for rulemaking, petitions for declaratory rulings, delegations, and hearings. So there's 11 rules total. We're proposing an initial determination as necessary to go out to public comment for 60 days, and then at a later date come back and address the readoption schedule with the full commission. So this presentation may have looked similar because Mr. Bill Lane had presented this in November, but we didn't have quorum, so I'm doing this today. Yeah, this is okay. So it's pretty much on par with what we're doing. The schedule hasn't changed too much, other than we're here before the steering committee on January 8th. So I had a recommendation slide for you all that you could read it, and the recommendation is that that this committee approves the initial determinations of necessary for these rules to proceed to the EMC.
Okay, and we'll do that and then expound on more of why we need the 30-day waiver tomorrow so the committee understands that, the nature of that at this point.
Because this process has a end deadline, that means it has to be before the Rules Review Commission on a date that was established by the RRC, which is August, which means all this needs to be wrapped up and through the full EMC at no later than its July meeting. So we're starting this process now, and we tried to start it in November, and that's why we're asking for the 30-day waiver.
So it was tight starting it in November. Now we've lost November, so we need to just keep it on schedule. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only determination here is that this set of rules, the 2I, these 11 rules be considered categorized as necessary. So that's really all we need from the committee. Any general discussions or questions for staff on that, from Jennifer, on that part? All right, hearing none. Somebody give me a motion and we'll go from there. Chris.
Yes, Chairman. I'd move to proceed to the Environmental Management Commission at its January 2025 meeting to proceed to public comment on the initial determinations regarding periodic review of existing rules report for 15A NCAC 02I and request a 30-day waiver.
No. Don't do more. Okay. Okay, Commissioner Dugan's made the motion, and we have a second. Commissioner Carter makes the second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous. Very well. Okay.
Awesome. And I'll see y'all tomorrow as well. And we'll make sure we'll get the right presentation.
Right. You didn't want to come in today, I know, but see, that's the
No,
reason.
I
So
did
you'll be
not.
smooth tomorrow, right?
But I love baseball, so I can say I'm a pinch hitter.
Okay. Anybody have any problems with the 30-day waiver for this? This is the bucket list. I think I'm trying to do a standard kind of 30-day waiver anyway for this because I think it gives the staff more time. In this case, we have to do it because we took the time, but
Yeah.
for the bucket list stuff, I don't think we need 30-day waivers between this stuff. So,
Moving forward.
well, I've told Karen Higgins that, you know, again, let's not lose 2 months. When we get to the
Yeah.
actual rule readoption, we will
Yeah.
take the 30-day waiver route. but-
Okay. Because there's still several more reports that'll be coming to you this year.
Yes, but we'd like to do them soon enough, not to need a 30-day waiver, and then not take our time on the 30-day waiver, waiting. Do you follow me?
I'm hearing that you're okay with us going to the committee the day before the EMC and going.
Yes, but as I've told Karen, I'd like that to happen enough in advance and just get it off our plate so we don't have to hear it. Don't do like this one intentionally where you got to do it back to back and have to have it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's too bad because you're going to have a lot of these for today and tomorrow.
Okay, I don't know.
But cool. Good to know moving forward. I think I understand you. So
Yes. Okay,
that's efficient.
good to see you again, Jennifer.
Yeah,
Haven't seen you in a
Happy New
while.
Year. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to. Hello, my name's Jennifer. You know, Happy New Year. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee.
I think most of you guys know, just to reintroduce Jennifer, but we have a rules coordinator for DEQ and the commission, but she serves all the commissions within DEQ. So she is a force of one. Remember that guy that did OSBM?
Mhm.
She does the same job in front of the RRC for the whole, any of the environmental committee rules or anything like that. So she's got her hands full. So if you don't know her,
Uh-huh.
please meet her.
Hi.
Thank her.
I do my best.
All right.
It's a lot. Thank you,
Good
Ms.
to
Chair.
see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, second item on the agenda is the amended bylaws. And for the committee's sake, as we pull those up, are you going to stand up here and run these through for us?
I can, yes.
If you'll do that, that'd be helpful because Ellie's going to speak to him and I'm not going to put her
Okay.
behind the podium. From procedural standpoint, based on what we talked about at our last meeting, and we've had a special subcommittee for this, and we've talked about these at several meetings. We've stripped these down to the essentials. And we have circulated this to the whole EMC because I really didn't see any controversy to these. But today we will want to move these through committee and I guess take a formal vote on them. Although I don't think we have to take a vote on them. At this point, it's a decision by the full commission and the notice has been given properly to them. But this was the underlying strikeout versions from before. And I think you guys have seen it in your package for tomorrow. So Ellie, if you have anything else to add, be very helpful.
Sure. Thank you, Chair Solomon. I would just note, I sent this version of the proposed draft bylaws to everyone shortly before Christmas. So hopefully you all received these. I'm going to have had a chance to review. Essentially, all that we're trying to do is update the bylaws to comply with changes to the EMC's statutory authority and requirements. Along those lines, we're updating how the chair and vice chair are elected and how that procedure happens. We're also responding to some unknowns in terms of having electronic meetings when necessary. So we're including some provisions about being able to do electronic, fully virtual or hybrid meetings as necessary. And then finally, the last major change is the makeup of the EMC has changed since the steering committee was initially put into place. So we need one fewer member on the steering committee so as not to have a quorum of the full commission on the steering committee. So we had changed the makeup of the steering committee to reflect that change in the makeup of the EMC. Again, these changes are truly to comply with what is in the statute, but happy to answer any questions or concerns that anyone has.
Questions from Ellie, council on this? Oh, and I will say, I see Commissioner Carter, we did start with a list of about, I think it was 7 to 9 issues, and we've boiled this down to the 3 most essential to get it done now. I am more than open to further tweaking of the bylaws as we go into this year. I just want to get these off the plate as soon as, we're about mid-year through the cycle of the chair and vice chair. And I like to get this off the plate now so that that's established and kind of all of it makes sense. And then if we want to get into some of the other issues, as I've said all along, we will do that through the year.
I just wanted to agree with you, Mr. Chair, and you and I discussed this. These are obviously needed now, but I do think we need to consider some other additions to our bylaws as we go forward on a regional schedule.
Okay. I hear you. We'll do that. Okay. Any other comments, questions? Commissioner Weiss?
Thank you. I just want to confirm with council that the addition in Article 5 dealing with meetings, that the use of any voting member is to clarify that, or helps to clarify that for a quorum of a committee, we would not be counting members of the commission who aren't on the committee.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, hearing none, I'll take a motion. Do we have a motion on the floor? Commissioner Carter?
Yes, sir. I move that we adopt these changes to the bylaws.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Duggan, I got a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we'll be pushing these straight to the commission tomorrow for approval. They've been noticed properly and there's no changes. So it'll be up to the commission tomorrow to make the final determination. I think that's all we have on our agenda for today. Any other, well, let me mention this too. As a side, I'll take other comments on the steering committee. Our 2A rules were not updated last time. They were considered, I think we had 3 buckets necessary without substantive comment or substantive public interest. And a lot of those are foundational, 3 foundational kind of rules for this commission, how we do and delegate authority and what we cover and what we don't cover. I don't remember, it was on my watch, but I don't remember why we decided they weren't with public interest. But I've asked council and I've asked Ms. Everett to maybe try to accelerate those a little bit, because if we wait till the end of the cycle where they're scheduled now, it will have been almost 20 years before they've been touched. And we still have things like NC, D, E, and R in the rules. So we probably need to get over to that. I just mentioned that to the steering committee as we move forward, that you may see those. And then again, Commissioner Carter wants to look at a few more things. So that'll be information for the steering committee. Other than those 2 things, and I think neither one of the Commissioner Carter's will involve us. The first one won't involve this committee yet. So we won't have much more committee meetings, steering committee meetings throughout the rest of the year. This is really for those overarching rules that we have to process here. So I don't anticipate any more steering committee meetings for most of the year unless we do the more bylaws. Okay. Any other comments or any other things we need to do with the steering committee today? Okay. Council, you good? All right. Hearing none, we're adjourned. Lunch is here, I believe, or going to be here soon. And we looked at the heat and it says it's at 60 degrees. We think there's